You'd think a billion-dollar company with the license to print both bricks and money wouldn't struggle with something as simple as colors, right? But in 2017, LEGO accidentally sent out 120,000 Star Wars sets in the wrong shade of gray. Yes, these are the worst LEGO failures ever. Failure number uno, LEGO Master Builder Academy. First up is the Master Builder Academy, a subscription-based kit designed to teach advanced building techniques because nothing screams fun like turning playtime into a curriculum. Hey kids, forget recess. It's time for your LEGO homework.
Homework, please.
It's as if they tried to sell snow to penguins and wondered why there were no takers. The outcome was predictable. It was discontinued in 2014 due to low sales and consumer engagement. Who could have guessed that turning a free-form activity into a structured obligation wouldn't be a hit? It's like offering a masterclass in napping. Some things don't need instruction. The next failure up is the LEGO Primo, 1995 to 1997. Aiming for the 0 to 2 demographic, LEGO introduced Primo, large soft bricks safe for infants. Because when I think of infants, I think of their desperate need to build complex structures between naps and diaper changes. Shockingly, babies didn't open their wallets. Parents saw it as unnecessary clutter. Primo quietly exited the market, proving that sometimes less is indeed less. LEGO Primo was like giving calculus textbooks to goldfish, completely missing the point of your audience's capabilities. Who thought marketing construction toys to drooling, babbling infants was a stellar idea? Let's look at the shade era we recall the Star Wars sets Shade Era 2017. LEGO and Star Wars, a match made in merchandising heaven. But in 2017, the empire struck itself. They pumped out 120,000 Star Wars sets with the wrong shade of gray. Yep, that's right, 120,000 spaceships, droids, and Death Stars. Looking less like intergalactic powerhouses and more like washed-out Tupperware. Turns out that someone couldn't tell light gray from dark gray. $6 million went down the galactic drain because some poor soul squinted too hard under those discount factory lights. And here's the kicker, all it took was one employee slip-up, and suddenly every kid who cracked open their set was looking at a galaxy where even the shades of gray were wrong. So LEGO had to improve their lighting for packaging, which is corporate speak for we're buying bulbs that actually work. And if you loved the video so far, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you won't be a failure like these Legos, LOL. Scala, 1997 to 2001. Scala ventured into the dollhouse space, targeting girls with sets focused on fashion, homes, and miniature dolls. It included accessories such as hairbrushes, dresses, and interior design elements. So it was basically dollhouses in disguise in an attempt to woo girls. This line was so drenched in stereotypes that it practically handed out aprons. Miniature dolls, fashion accessories, interior design elements. It was less about building and more about perpetuating cliches. Kids could design homes and dress up dolls, essentially doing what they could already do, but with a cheaper dollhouse. Scala didn't just drop the ball on gender inclusivity, it buried it in the backyard and planted a rosebush of stereotypes over it. LEGO Fusion, 2014 to 2015. LEGO Fusion attempted to blend physical building with digital gameplay. It was like a forced marriage of bricks and apps. By building real-world models and scanning them into a mobile app, kids could expand their creations digitally in various game environments. Nothing's as fun like building something just to stare at it through a phone screen. Enhance creativity by offering new dimensions to builds, literally, as in 2 dimensions on your device. The digital interaction was about as seamless as a brick wall. Integration challenges made the user experience a test of endurance. It failed to gain popularity because, shockingly, kids didn't want to juggle toys and gadgets simultaneously. Fusion fizzled out, becoming yet another lesson in unnecessary complexity. LEGO Fusion was like trying to mix oil and water, or in this case, fun and frustration. The only thing it fused successfully was disappointment and wasted allowance money. Bionical Reboot 2014. Finally, we have the Bionical Reboot of 2014. The original Bionicle line was the hero that saved LEGO from bankruptcy in 2004, so naturally, they decided to reboot it by stripping away everything that made it successful. Brilliant strategy. The simplified reboot failed to capture its original fan base, probably because it lacked any of the character depth or engaging storylines that fans adored. It's like bringing back a beloved TV show but recasting all the characters with sock puppets. The result? Early discontinuation and a collective sigh from fans who hoped for a nostalgic revival but got a watered-down imitation instead. It's a textbook case of how not to honor a legacy by dismantling it piece by piece. LEGO Video, 2021 to 2022. Mixing physical Lego sets with an augmented reality app, video aimed to let kids create their own music videos starring Lego characters. Because if there's one thing kids need, it's another excuse to stare at a screen. Users could scan their sets into an app and watch their minifigures perform on virtual stages. It offered creative digital expression, assuming the app didn't crash. Sharing creations on a moderated platform, it was social media without the social or the media. High prices and limited appeal sunk video faster than a lead balloon. Integration issues made the experience as smooth as sandpaper. Less than a year in, Lego pulled the plug, probably while muttering, "Well, that didn't work." Video was Lego's attempt to be the cool dad who tried to use slang but ends up embarrassing everyone. Let's mix Lego with AR technology and overpriced minifigures. What could go wrong? Well, everything as it turns out. Lego ZNAP. 1998 to 1999, in an attempt to overtake their competitor K-Nex, they introduced ZNAP, which ended up being a bold move lacking any originality. They swapped their iconic bricks for rods and connectors, essentially saying, "What if Lego, but worse?" The goal was to teach engineering concepts, presumably to kids who already failed art class and needed another subject to disappoint their parents. Consumers collectively yawned and ZNAP snapped out of existence in a year. It's now a footnote in Lego's history, mostly remembered by collectors and people who enjoy watching train wrecks in slow motion. ZNAP was so uninspired, even the pieces looked bored. It was as if Lego was trying to test how low they could set the bar and still trip over it. Lego Universe, 2010 to 2012. Lego Universe was a massively multiplayer online game, or MMO, where players could explore digital worlds, complete quests, and engage in cooperative building activities. It aimed to bring the Lego building experience into a virtual realm. Sounds great on paper, like communism and zero-calorie desserts, but in practice, well, we know how that turned out. This was immersive gameplay that immersed players in boredom after the first hour. It also had interactive challenges that challenged one's patience more than skills. With limited content and technical issues, it was the Fire Festival of video games. High operational costs couldn't be justified by the handful of subscribers who stuck around out of sheer stubbornness. After 2 years, Lego Universe collapsed under its own weight. Lego Technique Fiber Optic Multiset. Next on our list is the Technique Fiber Optic Multiset, a dazzling array of over 400 parts and fiber optics. Because when kids beg for toys, they're obviously yearning for complex electrical engineering projects. Who needs simplicity when you can have a tangled mess of wires that even Nikola Tesla would squint at? The challenge here was that production costs soared higher than a SpaceX rocket. But sales revenue plummeted like it ran out of fuel mid-flight. Parents took one look at the price tag and decided they'd rather keep the lights on than buy a box of parts destined to become a vacuum cleaner's worst nightmare. The result? This masterpiece earned a spot in the Museum of Failure, a real place where products go to be mocked for eternity. Galador, 2002 to 2003. Finally, the biggest disaster of them all, Lego tried to enter the action figure market by making Galador, a sci-fi line which allowed their customers to customize their figures by mixing and matching components, which they called glitching, to create unique character combinations. They even backed it up with a TV show featuring Nick Bluetooth. Yes, Bluetooth, because naming your hero after a wireless technology is definitely how you create timeless characters. The show, as an attempted adventure narrative, was a damp squid, about as entertaining as watching paint dry. The show bombed, and the toys collected dust on store shelves. It was such a financial sinkhole that it's often blamed for nearly sinking the entire Lego ship back in the day. Galador was discontinued faster than you can say glitch, showing us that not every idea needs to leave the brainstorming session. Galador was like Lego's midlife crisis, a desperate attempt to be hip with the kids by throwing logic out the window. Now that was our ride through the missteps of Lego, which remind us that even industry titans can trip over their own feet, especially when those feet are made of poorly conceived bricks. May they continue to amuse us and, more importantly, remind Lego to stick to what they do best. Creating toys that hurt like hell when you sleep on them, but build memories that last a lifetime. There's more from where this came from. Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more epic fails and face plants.